Ladies and gentlemen, the internet is on fire again. And this time, it's not about a new track or a leaked verse. It's about Kingvon's mom finally breaking her silence. And the target of her rage? None other than Lil Durk himself. After weeks of cryptic jail posts and mysterious birthday messages from behind bars, Von's mother has come forward with a statement that's got the entire rap world gasping for air. "You lied to my son," she allegedly said. Words that echo through every corner of Chicago, Atlanta, and beyond. Social media timelines are spinning out of control. Fans are calling this the most emotional fallout since the Von and Durk saga began. What started as a bond of brotherhood between two street legends has now turned into something darker. Betrayal, guilt, and secrets that were never meant to see daylight. In her emotional outburst, Kingvon's mom didn't just speak, she exposed. Screenshots, old text threads, even unheard voice notes, all pointing toward one truth she claims the world has ignored for too long. But the real question is, why now? Why after all this time? And what exactly did Durk lie about? Stay locked in. This is about to get messy. It started with a post that nobody saw coming. A simple photo of Kingvon's old chain laid out next to a folded letter, with the caption, "Some things can't be forgiven." Within minutes, fans realized it came from Tasha. Von's mother, and chaos erupted online. The post was deleted in under 10 minutes, but the screenshots had already hit Twitter, Reddit, and every gossip page imaginable. What people didn't expect was the caption's deeper meaning, because behind that short sentence, a storm had been brewing for months, according to sources close to the family. Tasha had been holding back tears since Lil Durk's jail message went viral, that emotional post where he said, "Happy birthday, twin. I miss you every day." Fans had praised it, saying it showed loyalty even after death. But behind the scenes, Von's mom wasn't smiling. She felt that the message was fake, a cover-up, and that Durk had betrayed her son long before the world ever knew. She'd stayed quiet through the trials, the interviews, the endless fan theories. But that message broke her silence. People close to her claimed she'd been collecting proof for a while. Old DMs, call logs, even snippets of audio she said would show the truth. One of Von's childhood friends allegedly told a YouTube gossip page that Tasha was done protecting fake love. That phrase alone went viral. Fake love trend started flooding TikTok with fans arguing over whether Durk had really stood by Von or used his name for fame. But the real twist came when an old acquaintance from O'Block went live, saying he remembered an argument days before Von's death, a heated call between Von and Durk that didn't sound like love at all. The live stream blew up overnight. Thousands tuned in to hear what he remembered. "Von was mad, bro," he said, pacing his kitchen. "He told me straight, Durk moving weird. He didn't tell me everything, but he was heated. Said something about money, about loyalty, about someone switching sides." Nobody knew how real the story was, but the comments exploded with, "I knew it. Von wasn't no fool, and this about to get dark." Meanwhile, inside the Chicago circle, things were heating up. Some of Von's old associates started posting indirect messages. One even wrote, "That jail post ain't fooling nobody." Then fans started connecting dots, that Durk's last message to Von before his arrest was rumored to be cold and distant. People began resurfacing clips from old interviews where Durk dodged emotional questions about Von's death. In one, when asked if he ever visits Von's grave, he paused too long, and fans never forgot that silence. Tasha, according to one insider, was tired of the Durk show. She felt like the rapper had turned Von's name into a marketing brand. She reportedly told a close friend, "He never called me after the funeral, not once. But he posted about loyalty every month." That quote started trending on multiple platforms, turning Durk's fan base defensive. Some said she was grieving and being misled. Others said she finally had the courage to tell the truth. Then came the alleged leak, a blurry screenshot of what looked like a text thread between Durk and Von a few days before the tragic night. In the image, Von supposedly writes, "You changing up, twin. I see how you move now." The response, allegedly from Durk, said, "Handle your business, we talk after." Whether real or not, the screenshot spread like wildfire. The font didn't match iPhone messages, but nobody cared. The narrative was already alive, and it was ugly. Behind the scenes, even Durk's team felt the pressure. An unnamed source from OTF reportedly told Candidly Cassie that Durk knew this was coming, claiming he'd already instructed his lawyers to prepare statements. Meanwhile, Tasha wasn't backing down. She told one local blog that she was ready to show what really happened the week my son died. That sentence alone sent chills down every fan's spine. What did she mean by that? What could she possibly reveal now, years later, that nobody had seen before? Fans started to speculate about everything. Some said she had a secret recording. Others said she had messages from Von's phone that were never turned in to the police. And then someone, claiming to be a family insider, tweeted, "It's bigger than music." Way bigger. That tweet got 2.7 million views in one day. The story now wasn't just about hurt feelings. It was about loyalty, deception, and a mother trying to reclaim her son's legacy. Every word she spoke, every screenshot she dropped, made Durk's silence louder. He didn't respond publicly. Not a word. But his brother, D-Thang's cousin, posted a cryptic message. Sometimes silence speaks louder than lies. The rap world split instantly. Some took that as confirmation, others as deflection. Blogs began spinning their own angles. Some said Durk had paid for Von's entire funeral and given money to the family afterward. Others said he hadn't done a thing but posted on Instagram. Nobody knew which story was true, but the chaos fed itself. On TikTok, creators began making timeline videos, trying to prove when the friendship between the two rappers really fell apart. "Watch Von's last live show," one said. "You can feel it in his energy." But there was one thing nobody could deny: the emotion in Von's mom's voice when she finally went live. That's where things went from online chatter to full-blown war. As soon as she appeared on camera, wearing Von's pendant and hoodie, thousands joined instantly. Her voice was shaking, but her words were sharp. "My son loved him," she said. "He really did. But I learned too late that not everybody calling you twin means it." She paused, then looked directly at the camera. "I'm not doing this for clout. I'm doing this because the lies have been eating me alive." The chat exploded, crying emojis, hearts, and then comments like, "She's speaking truth," and "This woman's pain is real." But just when people thought it couldn't get more emotional, she reached down and held up a folded note. "This was the last letter Von wrote before everything happened," she said, her voice cracking. "He told me not to trust no smiles that don't reach the eyes." And that's where the first cracks in Durk's empire began to show. Sponsors pulling back, fans demanding answers, and old friends suddenly quiet. The story wasn't just trending anymore. It was tearing apart one of rap's strongest bonds, piece by piece. As that life ended, the internet completely lost its mind. Within hours, clips of Tasha's emotional outburst flooded YouTube and TikTok. Every word she said was being dissected, slowed down, remixed, and turned into viral sound bites. Bloggers were already uploading titles like "Kingvon's Mom Exposes Lil Durk Live" and "The Truth Behind the OTF Fallout." But while fans argued in the comments, something much darker started brewing behind the scenes. Something even Tasha hadn't expected. A few hours later, a mysterious Twitter account named Von's Truth 2025 appeared, posting, "She's telling half the story." The tweet came with a blurry clip, a supposed recording of Von's voice. Angry and exhausted, saying, "You switched sides, twin. That's why I don't trust anybody." The voice sounded real enough to cause chaos, and within minutes, it was everywhere. Even major rap pages picked it up, speculating that this could be part of the evidence Tasha had hinted at. But what threw everyone off was what came next. Von's Truth 2025 posted again, this time tagging Durk's account with the words, "You lied about that night. You lied about that night." Fans lost it. Comments ranged from "drop the full tape" to "Durk's done for." People began demanding Durk break his silence, but his team stayed completely quiet. No statements, no tweets, no lives, just silence, which made it worse. Every hour that passed without a response made people believe Tasha more. Meanwhile, people close to Durk started leaking their own stories. A former OTF videographer told a podcast that he remembered a weird vibe during the last music video Durk and Von shot together. They were together physically, he said, but the energy? Dead. Von ain't even dap him up at the end. That told me everything. Then Tasha's second live hit. This one wasn't emotional. It was personal. I kept quiet because I didn't want to see any more blood, she said, looking straight into the camera. But when I saw that birthday post from jail, that broke me. You can't preach loyalty from a cell when you broke my son's trust before he died. She paused, took a deep breath, and dropped a line that froze everyone watching. He told me everything, even what happened that night in Atlanta. Those words alone lit a match the internet couldn't contain. Bloggers and insiders began dropping cryptic hints, saying the truth wasn't just about music beef. It was about money, control, and betrayal at the highest level. One insider even claimed there was a missing deal, a contract between Durk and Von that never got signed, allegedly because Von didn't agree with the new direction OTF was taking. He wanted out, said the source. He wanted to start his own label, and that didn't sit right. Suddenly, the timeline made sense to fans. They began connecting dots between interviews, tweets, and deleted Instagram stories. One viral thread showed how Durk's mood on social media changed drastically in the weeks before Von's death, from friendly to distant, from brotherly posts to nothing at all. People were convinced this was the proof they'd missed, but just when everyone thought Tasha had the upper hand, a new wave hit. Late that night, an audio message surfaced, allegedly Durk's voice, calm but cold, saying, "If she keeps talking, we gon' make sure they forget what she said." Whether real or fake, the damage was done. Fans believed it, and hashtags like Protect Von Mom and Durk Exposed exploded. The situation became so intense that even celebrities started chiming in. Boozy, Young Chop, and even an old producer from OTF commented publicly, "Ain't no loyalty in this game," one said. "It's just business till somebody dies." Others took sides, saying Tasha was grieving and being manipulated by clout chasers. But the more people tried to defend Durk, the more emotional Tasha's supporters became. Meanwhile, behind the curtain, people close to the case started whispering about that night in Atlanta, the night that changed everything. One source claimed that before Von's tragic death, there was a private argument at a studio, and Durk wasn't as innocent as people thought. Von wanted to handle something his way, the source said. Durk told him to chill, but the tension was real. You could feel the separation. Then came the ultimate twist. Tasha claimed that Von's phone, the one supposedly in police custody, had mysteriously been wiped clean. The day after, she said during her third live, the messages disappeared. "Don't tell me that's a coincidence." She leaned closer to the camera, tears in her eyes. "I don't care how many lawyers or labels you got. Truth doesn't die." As soon as she said that, the comment section exploded again. People began calling for investigations, tagging blogs, even demanding academics cover it. But while everyone was pointing fingers, another account leaked screenshots that flipped the narrative again. Allegedly, Von's old manager had messages showing that Tasha had been warned not to make this public. Those messages made people wonder if someone from inside was feeding her selective information, maybe even baiting her to talk. Durk, still silent, finally made one move. He deleted every post mentioning Von from his Instagram. That sent fans spiraling. "That's guilt," one wrote. "You don't erase your brother like that unless it's true." Others said it was damage control. But what everyone agreed on was that the brotherhood that once represented loyalty in Chicago was officially dead. Then came the phone call leak, allegedly between Durk's manager and someone in Von's family. The audio was scratchy, but one line stood out. "Tell her if she keeps this up, the label is pulling everything." That made it clear. This wasn't just personal. This was about money, image, and brand survival. Inside sources said Durk was furious but was advised to stay quiet till the noise fades. But the noise wasn't fading. It was growing. Every gossip page, every YouTube channel, every reaction streamer was milking the drama, speculating about who was lying, who was protecting who, and what really happened the night Von lost his life. By this point, the story wasn't just entertainment. It was history repeating itself. The rap world had seen this kind of fall before. Loyalty turning into lawsuits, brotherhood turning into beef. But what made this one different was the mother's pain at the center of it all. She wasn't a celebrity. She wasn't chasing fame. She was just a mother trying to make sense of the loss that never stopped hurting. And the more she talked, the more people believed her. But what she didn't know was that someone else was about to enter the picture. Someone who had stayed silent for years. A voice message surfaced from a person claiming to be Von's cousin, and what he said was about to make the entire situation spiral out of control. The voice message that dropped the next morning shook the internet to its core. The alleged cousin of Kingvon, who went by the name Reese O'Block, released a 4-minute clip on YouTube titled "Von Told Me Everything." His voice was low, broken, and emotional, but his words hit harder than any diss track. "Von ain't die confused," he said. He knew who switched sides. He knew who used his name for gain. That clip was all it took to ignite the final wave of chaos. Within hours, the entire rap community was buzzing again. Comment sections overflowed with lines like, "Durk can't hide now," and "Reese just confirmed it all." Even verified artists started sharing the clip with emojis, eyes, explosions, snakes. The symbolism was clear. Lil Durk was being painted as the betrayer, the man who smiled in his brother's face while plotting behind his back. But as the drama hit its peak, Durk's camp finally made their first move. An insider close to the rapper dropped a statement through a private story, captured by every blog in under 10 minutes. The message read, "Don't let grief turn you blind. Everything you hear is edited, manipulated, and built to destroy a legacy we started together." It was cold, distant, and careful. The kind of response written by lawyers, not brothers. Still, for Tasha, the war had already gone too far. That same night, she went live again, tears in her eyes, wearing Von's chain around her neck. Her voice trembled as she spoke. "He talks about legacy, but whose? My son's name fed families, and all I asked for was truth. Now they want to call me crazy?" The comment section flooded with hearts and prayer emojis. One fan wrote, "This woman is fighting alone against an empire." Another said, "Durk can fix this with one phone call, but he won't." Then came the part that made even the most skeptical fans stop scrolling. Tasha reached down and pulled out a small box. Inside, folded carefully, was what she claimed to be Von's original contract draft. "He never signed this," she said softly. "You know why? 'Cause he saw what they tried to take from him. Everything." The camera zoomed in, shaky, but clear enough to show a line that read, "OTF Entertainment. Rights reserved to Lil Durk." Fans froze. Commenters began typing in all caps, demanding answers. Was this the contract that caused the fallout? Was this what Von had been fighting about before everything went down? Even people who once called this just internet talk couldn't deny how deep this was getting. On TikTok, creators started analyzing every word in the document. Some claimed it proved exploitation. Others said it was normal label paperwork. But what stood out wasn't the paper. It was the pain in Tasha's eyes. She wasn't reading from notes. She wasn't staging drama. She was reliving heartbreak in real time, in front of millions. Meanwhile, back in Atlanta, reports started surfacing that Durk had been moved to a private facility for safety reasons. Nobody knew if it was true or just another rumor, but it added gasoline to the fire. The hashtag #FreeVonTruth hit the top of Twitter's trending list overnight. Fan pages began posting side-by-side photos of Durk and Von, captioned, "Twin Energy" or "Twin Betrayal." The internet had made up its mind, and no PR statement could stop it now. Then suddenly, the anonymous account Von's Truth 2025 returned. The same one that had dropped the earlier audio leaks. This time, the message was simple. "Y'all ain't ready for the real one." And attached was a 2-minute clip, a private conversation between two male voices, one calm, one emotional. Fans swore it was Von and Durk arguing. The emotional voice said, "You were supposed to ride for me." The calm voice answered, "You made your choice, not me. Whether real or not, it was too perfect, too emotional, too viral to ignore." Major media outlets refused to touch the story, calling it unverified. But on YouTube and Instagram, it was unstoppable. Bloggers broke down every syllable. One influencer even claimed to have matched the voice patterns using AI tools. "It's him," he said confidently. "That's Durk." As all this unraveled, Tasha posted one last message to her Instagram story. White text on a black background. "I said what I had to say. God knows the truth. That single post felt like closure, or maybe surrender. Fans flooded her comments with love and support, but others feared for her safety, warning her to stay quiet before things got ugly. Behind the curtains, whispers began spreading that both camps were now being watched by legal teams. Contracts, estates, royalties, everything was under review. This wasn't just a social media feud anymore. It was turning into a legal and emotional war that could define both their legacies forever. But through all the noise, there was one thing nobody could deny. Kingvon's presence still lingered. Murals, old clips, unseen videos, and verses people hadn't heard yet began to resurface. Fans said it felt like Von was haunting the truth out. Every lyric suddenly sounded different. Every verse sounded prophetic. One old freestyle where Von rapped, "Fake love kills faster than bullets," began trending again, used in hundreds of tribute videos. By now, even Durk's most loyal fans were conflicted. Some said, "We are still rocking with Smirk, but if he did her wrong, he needs to fix it." Others flat out turned their backs, commenting, "Free Von's truth," under every post from Durk's account. The division was permanent. What once was family had turned into opposing tribes, both fueled by love for the same man, but fighting over two different versions of him. The chaos reached its peak when candidly Cassie dropped an exclusive follow-up video claiming that a major announcement was coming from Tasha's side. "She's sitting down with a podcast next week," Cassie said. "And from what we're hearing, she's naming names." That teaser alone sent the internet into a frenzy. Everyone braced for another round, another wave of revelations that could either rebuild Von's memory or destroy what was left of Durk's image. As the noise settled into the early hours of the morning, fans couldn't help but feel something heavy, like closure wrapped in confusion. Everyone had theories, opinions, and sides. But the truth? It still felt out of reach. Some say Durk will finally break his silence soon. Others believe he never will. That staying quiet is his only defense. But one thing's certain, Kingvon's story didn't end in that parking lot. It lives on through every mother's cry, every fan's comment, and every unsent text that still haunts the timelines. And as for Tasha, she's made it clear, this wasn't about fame. It was about peace. "My son died trusting the wrong people," she said in her final words. "Now I just want the world to know who really stood by him." The screen fades to black, the echo of her voice lingering like a whisper that refuses to fade. This story isn't ending. It's just beginning. And there you have it. Another chapter in one of hip-hop's most painful, confusing, and emotional sagas. From silence to secrets, from loyalty to betrayal, Kingvon's mom has turned grief into truth-telling. And the world can't stop watching. But now it's your turn to speak. Do you believe Lil Durk lied to Von? Or is this all another internet illusion feeding off pain? Was the love real, or just another industry performance? Drop your thoughts below because your voice matters more than ever. Every comment, every opinion, adds another piece to this puzzle the world's been trying to solve for years. One thing's for sure, the truth doesn't stay buried forever. Whether it's through leaked audio, hidden contracts, or emotional confessions, it always finds a way to rise. If you felt the emotion, the chaos, and the heartbreak in this story, make sure you hit that like button right now. Subscribe and turn on the notifications, because what's coming next is going to be even louder, rawer, and more shocking than what you just heard. This isn't the end of the story. It's just the start of a movement. So stay tuned, keep your eyes open, and remember, in this world of loyalty and lies, nothing stays hidden for long. This is Spillora, where the streets talk, and the truth never sleeps. Truth never sleeps.